Our next step is trying to go from having the paper backing on the image to the final image before we spray it down with acrylic. So you can see that this image is soft, it's very nice and textural, it almost looks like part of the paper, and it'll be great for a collage project or other things I might want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is a little bit delicate work, but really it's more tedious than delicate. If you've gone ahead and put 2 good coats of acrylic, your image will be tough enough to withstand the rubbing that's going to happen. We're going to wet the image, the back of the image. And what we're doing is just softening up the paper that's on the back, and we're going to start to rub it away. As the paper gets wet, it will start to release from the image. And you don't have to be afraid of getting too much water on it, depending on the substrate you use. My paper has already been sprayed with acrylic, so it's a little tougher than what you might imagine a piece of handmade paper would be. Now, as you can see, as I'm starting to rub away, the image is starting to reveal itself from underneath. You're just going to pull away all these scraps of paper and just keep rubbing. Now, you're going to probably have to do this in several different steps. The first is to just get most of the backing material off of it, and that'll take you a little bit of time. And then to finish the process, because I like a really nice flat piece of handmade paper, I'm going to affix it to a masonite board and continue my rubbing to the end so that I can really let it dry on the masonite board, get a beautiful, smooth, flat piece of paper with my image that I can go ahead and use in another project. So as you can see, this image is starting to reveal itself, and you don't have to be afraid to rub. Like I said, if you have done a good job on putting 2 coats of acrylic on it, you should be fine at this stage. The only place that you really need to be cautious is those edges of the paper where you're starting to rub into your handmade paper, which is a little bit more delicate. If you were to use some fiberboard to mount the photograph, or you use some commercially created paper, it would probably hold up to almost any kind of scrubbing. You also notice that when I created my image, I was very aware of the paper color that I was putting it onto and the paper that I actually printed onto, so that I can get an image that really blends in with the paper, the substrate that it's underneath. So that's it for right now. I'll pick it back up with you for the finish of the project, and happy scrubbing.